school board meeting. Can I have a motion that we return to the open meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion passed. Alright, Mr. Foster, will you do the certification?
Yes, sir. This roll call is to certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered during closed session.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Alright, everybody can rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we have a motion to approve the agenda, I just want to remind everyone, I am chairing this meeting for January, because January is when we reorganize the school board with the election of a chair and vice chair. So until that's done, the school superintendent chairs the meeting. So may I have a motion for the approval of the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All right, good. You good, Mr. Foster?
And then who was the second?
Dr. Corbett.
Dr. Corbett, all right.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes. All right. So members of the board, this is always an exciting time of the year where we start with recognitions, and exciting time of the year and an exciting time of the meeting, where we will begin with their first recognition, which is the Division Teacher of the Year. You remember previously we had our teacher representatives from each school here. So tonight is when we name our Division Teacher of the Year. So with that, Mr. Weaver, can we get you to come up to the podium, please, with Ms. Eames Walton? So Mr. Weaver is our automotive teacher at our CTE Center, and right here you get your own certificate and your own plaque awarding you as the Teacher of the Year.
You're kidding me, right?
Teacher of the
But
year.
hey, this is a huge surprise.
Well, you can keep talking, no worries.
Yeah, you got a lot to hold there.
Yes, you
I do. And my face is really red right now.
That's all right.
I
will go.
Whoops.
Miss Taylor.
Smile.
All right. Thank you.
That's awesome. Mr. Weaver, would you like to say anything?
Other than I'm very, very surprised. I appreciate the recognition. If it wasn't for the students, I wouldn't be here. So thanks to my students for letting me be a good teacher and for this honor. So thank y'all very much. Thank you, Ms. Tibbs. Mr. Lee's not here, but thank them for my support too. Thanks everybody. If we didn't have the support, I wouldn't be able to do it. So thank y'all for the wall art.
Thank you. And Mr. Weaver also is our golf coach, and this is your first month as an official member
Of me, school board.
Amelia County School Board.
We had our first meeting Monday.
Good luck.
Yeah. Sit in here and take notes.
I have.
Okay.
I've been to a couple that I've taken notes.
Okay.
But thank y'all very much. It's an honor to be working with y'all.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Ease up, I guess.
You can do whatever you want. You're more than welcome to stay.
Awesome. That's what it's all about.
Our next recognition is from the school board, Virginia School Boards Association, for Dr. Timothy Corbett for serving as the delegate for the 2025 VSBA Delegate Assembly. Come on up, Dr. Corbett. Congratulations. You got any words you want to say?
Oh, just good.
I gotta eat that cookie. And public station is not until 5:45. I'm gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
And then we have the public input on the budget at 6. So the next, we're gonna move on down through the agenda. The next item up there is, this is, as I stated at the beginning of the meeting, this is the time of the year where we do the election of the chair. So right now, I'm going to open up the floor for nominations for the election of a chair.
Can I
Oh,
say something?
I'm sorry, yes.
Good evening, everyone. You know me. If you know me, I need to get myself straight. I'd like to read something for you. Dr. Jones has given me this time, and I'll only take a few minutes of your time to read this. Before the nominations for chair are made. I just want to let everyone know that I really enjoyed being chair. Those days of hard work and sunshine and just to have a good time. But I decided that not to seek that position this year. I'm still on the school board from my district that voted me in, Buffalo District. And I really enjoyed working with this group of people. We've come a long way when we first started trying to be a team. We're not a team yet, but we're on the way to becoming a team. And I, as one, would like to see that happen. But I know I can't do the work of the chair. I know I can't. I know I can. I know I can do the work of the chair, but it's just a lot of things to do. And I have a couple of other things that I do. And something had to go. So I let the SBA go, and now I'm just I'm working to tell myself, you don't have anything to do. Don't be worried about going. You gotta go to this meeting tonight, especially the one last night. There was 10
Yes,
o'clock.
it was a little bit of time, yes, ma'am.
But I think there was some time for somebody else to take the torch. And there are people here who are able to take the torch. And I think we need to get some of their leadership skills and put them out on display by having them being maybe one of the chair people. I'm not leaving. I'm still a member of the Prince Edward County School Board, and I still will be looking for recruiting, and I still will be questioning things. And I'm not leaving. I wrote down, I said, I'm not leaving. I'm just changing my seat. Okay? I'm not leaving. I'm just changing my seat. This was a hard decision on my part because I really wanted to do this job. And I think I did it, and I showed you that I could do it. And I couldn't have done it without everybody's help. Everyone in this room, and especially people that are sitting out in the audience. So that's my whatever. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carson. And I appreciate all, you and I have really gotten to know each other more over the last year, especially within the last year. We had a lot of conversations last spring, and as we work to make this become a reality. So I appreciate all the support that you gave me as I made this transition, but I do know you have Prince Edward County Public Schools deep in your heart, and it shows in all that you do, and we appreciate your service as chair. And the good thing is you're not going off the board, you will still be on the board.
Moving chairs.
Just moving chairs.
I'd like to nominate Susie Kimbrough,
Okay,
So,
thank you,
Chair.
thank you, I appreciate that, Tim, can I'd like to defer, because I got somebody else, I'd like to
So-
do what.
so Dr. Corbett has made the
Nobody second.
nomination.
Don't second me.
All right, so there needs to be a second. If it's not a second, then the motion dies. If it does second, there can be time for discussion, and then there would be a vote. So Dr. Corbett has made the motion for Ms. Kimbrough to be the chair. Do I have a second? Okay. Do we have other nominations for the chair? Dr. Arietti was first.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Townsend.
All right.
Second.
So Dr. Arietti has made the motion to nominate Mr. Townsend as chair for the Prince Edward County Public Schools School Board. And the second,
By me.
yeah, Mr. Tackett. Is there any discussion? All right, we have the motion, we have the second, there was no discussion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. There we go.
Nice.
Congratulations, Mr. Townsend. And guess what you get?
Not a moment too soon.
Congratulations, there you go.
Thanks so much. Wow. This is moving, so I gotta.
Real time right here.
It's all yours, baby.
Do they take the same charger?
No, they don't need the same charge.
Guess you can leave the charger in place you're in.
I got you. I got the name tag.
Thank you.
You got it. I got you.
Appreciate you. I'm not used to walking this way.
You're all right. Are we good?
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Please remember that, as I said, I'm still here. Any board members, if you need anything, call me, and I'll talk to you about it. But, I just want you to know I'm still Prince Edward. I'm still
Amen.
Prince Edward in my heart.
I know that.
So, if you got anything to add, if you need help with something, I'll be glad to help you out or point you in the right direction. Okay? Thank you guys, thank you so much for appreciating me.
That makes sense. It's 5:44, so do you wanna go back to the public input or all right? So, I'm not telling you what to do, Mr. Chair, but
Do we have anybody signed up?
do we have anybody signed up for public participation?
There's nobody.
Nobody, okay.
So now I have to accept.
Vice chair. And at 6, though, we got to stop again
Yes,
for
ma'am.
public input.
So, if I'm doing this correctly, now would like to open the floor for nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Susan Kimbrough for
Second,
vice chair.
second,
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion or any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Congratulations.
We don't have to laugh.
next, we have to elect our school board clerk.
I move that we, elect Mr. Thomas Foster as our school board clerk.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes.
May I say something like Mr. Townsend? Congratulations, Mr. Foster.
Yes, I know he's so excited.
But I will say, Mr. Foster has just really stepped into this role at the, late fall. But since then, he has really owned the responsibility of being the school board clerk and making sure with trainings and different things, and is very organized. So, Mr. Foster, we appreciate the work that you're doing,
Yes, we do.
to be a school board clerk.
May I say something?
Yes.
And this is a position that changes a lot. I hope you stay.
Yes, and I appreciate you letting us know what we need via FOIA, COIA, conflict of interest forms, all those things, because none of us are gonna keep up with it, so we really do appreciate. And the fact that you have to nag a little bit, and I appreciate that. I know that's hard.
He
Keep
wasn't.
nagging.
Just keep nagging.
Just keep nagging at us,
Keep
okay?
on.
I will.
Nudging.
He's a good.
He was a little nervous the other day when he had to send some stuff. I said,
Just send it, send it.
I was like, yeah, I was asking Dr. Jones a lot of questions like, can we send it now? Thank you, guys.
So next, we go to selection of the day of the week, hour, and place for the regular school board meetings for February 2026 through June 2026. And then, as we indicated in December, kind of from July 2026 through January 2027, considering different venues, times, locations, etc. So,
I'd like,
yeah, I guess.
I'd like to make a motion to continue our Board of Education meetings through June 30th, 2026, effective this point to June 30th, 2026, to be held at the Dr. James M. Anderson Jr. School Board Conference Room, and closed sessions to begin at 4:30 p.m. and regular sessions at 5:30 p.m.
On what day?
The day-
Wednesday,
Now, the first
continue
Wednesday
on
of the month.
Wednesday
February
through June 30th, 2026,
And
the
then-
regular board meetings.
If I may, before you go. So in your packet, for the meeting dates going through February through June 2026, in that, it's normally, yes, the first Wednesday of the month. But you see, we have February 4th, March 4th, then we go to April 15th because there's some spring break in there.
Uh-huh.
So May 6th, June 3rd, and June 24th, 2026 as the year-end closeout meeting. Okay, so normally the meeting date is the first Wednesday of each month unless otherwise noted. Okay,
Now, what about going forward?
you wanna
I think
vote on that one?
This is a first
Two
motion.
This
two
is
different
two.
votes.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
sorry.
No, you're fine. So standalone motion, February 4th, March 4th, April 15th, May 6th, June 3rd, June 24th, all starting with closed session at 4:30 p.m., open session at 5:30 p.m. would be the schedule, which are all Wednesdays.
I second that motion.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, so now we need from July through December, July through January 2027.
Last month, I brought attention to the board team, and I appreciated the opportunity to just bring to the table as far as for discussion about an alternate date of the week instead of the first Wednesday. So just kind of looking and researching, and we talked about Thursday, we talked about Tuesday, Monday. I left that meeting thinking that that we had, I think there were some advantages of a different date. So I'd like to make a motion for consideration that we begin starting July 2026 to have our regular Prince Edward County Public School Board of Education meetings on the first Tuesday of the month. But the location, is the location to be included?
Yes.
Chair, at Prince Edward County Middle School Building Room 150 51. And the meeting time for the closed session to begin at 5 p.m. and regular session to begin at 6 p.m.
Motion has been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded, discussion.
Tuesday is really a hard day. Wednesday is my best, is the week. And I really don't understand why Wednesday, why we're going in this direction, really, to be honest with you. Especially when, the biggest reason that we're saying is because Wednesday night it tends to be Bible study night, and, one of the concerns that I had as I moved to this town was, on the day in which we call the Lord's Day, on Sunday, they have Little League, sports, and everybody in town is there on those days, and it's hard to get people into church on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. So, but nonetheless, we're gonna, we're moving in that direction. We're gonna move towards moving away from Wednesday. But Tuesday, I have to say, is a more challenging day for me. I would rather it be on another day like Thursday. But either way, I guess I have to go with what the board's wishes are. And there was also one of the members said that we as members of the board, we should be willing to, we should be willing to give public service. Well, I give public service. That's what I've done all my life. I was in the military. I'm a preacher. I preach on Sunday mornings, and I also am a physician in town. So that is what my life is about, is public service. So if there's there shouldn't be any doubt about that. So, but this is the way the board would like to know.
So Dr. Corby, you said Thursday, you're proposing an amendment, you can get a second and we could vote on that, or you just want the comment to be open and discussion? Like, are you proposing an amendment to the motion originally, or just want that to be on the record?
I would propose, I'd like for the, if the vote is gonna, like to hear, I'd like to amend it to recommend Thursday.
Well, on that, we have a motion and we had a second,
Yes.
so,
But he would have to amend
No,
well,
you would need
go
a
ahead.
second if you make a motion to
it.
propose an amendment. You'd need a second, then we need to vote on that, right? On that. Robert rules is kind of.
Yeah.
so, yes, so we have a motion for the first Tuesday of the month with I'm just gonna repeat the motion in my head so I have it. We have a motion for the school board meeting to be the first Tuesday of the month with closed session starting at 5 o'clock, open session beginning at 6 o'clock, and the location would be room 151 in the middle school. We had that motion on the floor, and we had made by Mr. Tackett, we had a second, and we had discussion. So, we need to vote on that.
Yeah, I think we do need to vote on that before, and then a new motion can be made. Or, no,
But
if
he's
it's
proposing
an
an
amendment.
amendment,
Yeah, we
He would need a
gotta vote,
second, though.
if there's a second to his amendment, then we would vote on the amendment
Yes.
first.
Right, correct.
And will there be a discussion of?
But no one seconded it yet.
Yes.
If no
Yes,
one
there'd be
seconds
more.
it, it dies.
There'd be more discussion, yes.
Yes, there would be more discussion, but he's made the motion, no one currently has seconded it. If no one does, it dies, similarly to just what we had with me being nominated as chair.
We did not have a second?
No.
Okay.
So now we vote on the motion.
I made the motion to amend it for
Yes.
Thursday.
Right, and
But we had Mr. Tackett's original motion.
was seconded.
Yes.
Thought you, right, too.
Yes, I did it.
Seeing none, no seconds, looks like opposed dies. Is there any other discussion about the original motion? July 26th, first Tuesday of the month, Middle school 151, closed at 5, open at 6 through January 2027. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next,
In those, so it'd be the first Tuesday, right?
Unless otherwise
Unless
noted, and you'll get those dates to us after you look at the calendar, right?
I will.
Okay.
next we need to authorize a deputy clerk.
Is that normally Ms.
Ms.
Jones?
Jones, yes, ma'am.
Do we have a motion for that?
You need a motion.
I move that we authorize Ms. Jones to be our deputy clerk.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? The motion passes.
Can I say something on that? Ms. Jones, congratulations.
She's
She's excited.
So
And the deputy clerk fills in when, the clerk cannot be here in the absence, and Ms. Jones has filled in this year because we've had some clerk transition. So, Ms. Jones, we appreciate all that you do to help us prepare for the meetings and, everything you do. Thank you.
Next, on to appointments by chair. So we have to discuss some committees. So we have 5 committees listed. Do we also want to include policy, or do we?
It's
or do
on
we-
there. It's now added. It's the
It's number
fifth one.
5.
You need
What policy?
glasses.
Yeah, I do. So we've got Student Affairs Committee, Finance Committee, representative to the Governor's School of Southside Virginia, VSBA delegate, and then School Board Policy Committee. So I think since we have a new member, just talking a little bit about what each of them does would probably be a good thing.
Yes.
So current Student Affairs members, would y'all want to just kind of quickly run through what responsibilities are, or I guess previous, because nobody's on any committees right now.
Right. Currently, the way the Student Affairs Committee works is that any student who, that the school is recommending longer than 10 days suspension comes before the Student Affairs Committee to determine whether more punishment or discipline is warranted. We're looking at changing that potentially, but currently, that's what we do. It meets, fairly regularly, about every other week, because the law says that, the case or the students, whatever they've done, has to be done before their 10-day suspension is over. So if a child gets suspended, we've got 10 school days to meet to determine whether or not if more punishment is warranted. And right now, the committee members are Mr. Farley, myself, and Lucy, and actually Elzora has been serving this past year as the alternate. And frankly, even if we do change the way we're doing it now, this committee, according to the, I think would still be intact, just would only meet in case of a 365-day expulsion. So we'd still need to have a committee, it's just not, hopefully, ever gonna have to meet. You know, hopefully we don't ever have a child that has to be expelled, but if we did, that would be when it would meet. Right?
If a student is recommended for expulsion, that takes the full board.
It's not the way that it's written. Okay, all right,
So we would need the,
so then this committee would no longer really be
it would be
needed.
one within the, it would be one that the superintendent would,
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
But right now, I'm sorry,
yeah,
but
that's
right now, this stays, we need a committee.
right,
We
we're
haven't
gonna,
changed-
because we
haven't
haven't,
changed
that's,
any- we
currently,
haven't
that's
changed
what
any
we're doing.
procedures, how we're
the
doing this.
procedure hasn't been changed.
No,
Yes,
sir.
right,
So we
so,
have 3 and an alternate for that.
3 and an alternate.
And then finance, I mean, more or less self-explanatory, but Dr. Jones, would you mind talking about
Yes.
what?
So, Ms. Jones, when she's not having to be deputy clerk, does her finance for the school division. And what that is that's the finance committee that meets prior to the school board meetings to review the bills. And we pay bills on a monthly basis, and there's a committee of school board members that meet prior to the meeting in case there's any questions. any clarifications that they may need, and then they meet, and then it comes to the full board for approval.
We would need 3, or is that number, is it a hard 3?
Ms. Jones, has it always been 3?
Yes,
Yes.
we just did 4 this year because our chair wasn't on there and we had to make sure our chair was on there at the time. But it's normally 3 is the chair and 2
more.
other members,
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
So I volunteer.
And you can be there with, instead of Elzara, right?
And I volunteered.
I mean, we could do, any other interest, I mean, we could also talk about it. All right.
When do they meet?
That committee
The
meets
Wednesdays before the board
the
meeting.
Wednesdays before the board meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Change next year.
Well, that's
And
the,
Right now would be.
that's the, when our meeting, yes, from now, from February to June, it will be the Wednesday before the board meeting. Starting in July, it would be the Tuesday before the board meeting.
Yes. And we normally meet via Zoom.
Usually around 3 o'clock,
Yes,
3:30. 3:30.
Refresh my memory, does everybody have to serve on one committee, right? Isn't that how we usually? No, technically you don't.
No, because we have so many members,
But it's always nice to have everybody.
yeah, on something.
Something.
But I do the finance committee.
Okay.
So is it Dr. Corbett, Mr. Tackett, and
Dr.
Dr.
Eric
Eric.
Buchanan,
It's the 10th.
because he's
The chair.
chair.
And that's not been a norm though, that everybody serves on the committee.
Has been, you said?
No,
Oh, it's not, yeah.
something that we've done in the past at all, so.
Governor School, Southside Virginia, so, all of let's go by Region 8. So all the schools in Region 8 have, students that they send to, Southside Governor School, and this is like the board for the Southside Governor School. So there's a meeting like once a quarter usually.
Yes.
It's in the Nottaway County School Board office.
It's moved
Oh,
to,
no.
it's now at the Seed Center here in Farmville.
See the
And,
innovation.
and Dr. Corbett was on it, but he got off of it, and I've been serving since the fall.
Good.
And will continue to serve on it, but Lucy might wanna do that. Do you wanna do that, Lucy?
Government school, yes.
You'd like to do governor's school, that's fine. Their next meeting is in February, I believe, but Ms. Swain will get in touch with you,
Okay.
and it's here in town.
But
It's
at
good.
first it was not coming to me, that was why I didn't.
They
do
just
that.
moved it,
I did not
yeah.
find out about it, I mean, when the meetings came, the information with the other folks, I didn't know. So, not do it.
And we have Virginia School Board Association delegate selection, so similar to what Dr. Corbett did for us in November at the conference, we need one member of our school board to represent our locality for the General Assembly conventions.
I'd like to do that. Unless you, or do you wanna keep doing it?
I'd like to do it.
Well, then you to keep doing
We
it,
need
and
an
then when you don't wanna do it anymore, you let me know.
I did like it.
You let me know if you don't wanna do it anymore, that's fine.
So Dr. Corbett, you'd be the delegate, and Ms. Kimbrough, you'd be the alternate.
Alternate, that'd be good.
You might even do it
And lastly, the policy committee, previously, this is our most newly established committee. There was just a need, VSB had been sending us batches and batches of policies that were being updated and needed to be reviewed. And when we kind of went back into some of our policies that hadn't been reviewed in a little while, so we took on the task of reviewing every single policy. I think we got through just about all of them, if not all of them, but they still might come back with more, so we might still need to.
Oh, they will, we're
review.
scheduled to get another batch next month, we'll get another batch in May, and then another one in August. They come in batches, and, so, Harvey, it's got your name on here, but you have not been serving on this committee, unless I just haven't been calling you and you thought you were
You
supposed
haven't
to be
been
on
calling
it.
me, you haven't been calling me.
I'm sorry.
But since my name's on there,
You can be on it, we
I'll go
will
ahead
have
and
an
I'll go ahead
opening
and be
for,
on.
on this committee, since Ms. Stiff would not be on it, would you?
I can do
Okay, and we also meet by Zoom usually.
that. Okay.
And it's, when we meet, and we don't meet all the time, we only meet when we have policies to look at, but it's normally the fourth Monday of the month, I believe is when it is.
So Robin will serve on that, Harvey will serve on that as well.
Yep.
And
Susan,
Harvey,
would you
I will
like to
remember to, and are you gonna come off of that committee now?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
that's what I thought, okay. So it will be me, Ms. Simpson, and Mr. Tackett, and I will remember to, make sure y'all get the stuff.
Okay, back to student affairs. We need 3 and an alternate. I will serve as one of those. Can I have 2 others and an alternate?
I'll be on it, and Mr. Farley, I think is.
I'll be the alternate to.
Dr. E. And then Mr.
But Mr. Farley, are you still wanting to be on that?
I'll be the alternate.
Alternate, oh, okay.
I'll be
Are
the
you gonna be
alternate.
on it?
Student affairs?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll serve.
okay. Really?
Meets
Meets in the daytime.
I can swap.
Well, it's probably, yeah, go ahead, so,
So,
or are you gonna, you're still be on it Tuesday, this coming
Yeah,
Tuesday?
yeah.
Alright,
That's what we talked about.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then going forward from that, if we have any more before we make a decision about what we do about it, you'd be it,
Yep.
okay? Me, you,
Glad to serve.
and you'll be alternate,
Yeah.
and Lucy can be alternate too. Sometimes you need more than one alternate.
So, and this is in the vote that says chair appointments, right? So we can,
Yes, just a minute. But we need to go back to the public.
yes, we do need to go back to public participation. So no vote, or 2 vote. No vote, okay. But it is 6:07, so we do need to go backwards to item 10, public input on the Prince Edward County public school budget. Does anybody?
Somebody sign up.
No. Anybody sign up?
So, Mr. Townsend, to go back to the selection of the committee, can we read over the committees one more time?
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Mr. Foster, do you wanna read us what you have?
Well, I'm gonna have to read some of the, watch the video, but I do have some of it. So what I have is, for the finance committee, for the finance committee, Mr. Tackett, Dr. Corbett, and Dr. Arietti,
And me.
and,
Mr. Townsend.
and Townsend. Governor's School for Southside Virginia, Ms. Carson will head this committee. VSBA delegate for PECPS, Dr. Corbett will be on that, and Ms. Kimbrough will be the alternate. Policy committee, I have Mr. Tackett, Ms. Simpson, and Ms. Kimbrough.
That's correct.
And student affairs, that's the one I was gonna have to go back on. Mr. Townsend, I believe.
Yes. Ms. Kimbrough.
Ms. Carson, alternate, Dr. Arietti, alternate,
Ms.
and
Kimbrough.
Ms. Kimbrough.
And
And Mr. Farley also.
Alright, so Ms. Kimbrough and Mr. Farley. And that's what I have so far.
And then
That's
you
it.
have it all.
We're good.
Good job.
Yeah, that's really good.
Thank you.
Alright. Moving on to G, designate persons to attend school board meetings in absence of superintendent. Dr. Jones, you have a recommendation?
I do, so in there, the recommended action that I'm recommending that in my absence from a meeting, that it be either the Assistant Superintendent of Support Services, Mr. Good, or Ms. Janine Garrett, Director of Curriculum and Instruction.
Is there a motion?
I have a question. Now, should it be one, or do you want both of them to be there?
Or, it's my recommendation to have 2, just in case one is not available, there is another to fill in.
Entertain a motion to approve Mr. Richard Good and Ms. Janine Garrett to serve school board meetings in absence of superintendent.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Tackett, second by Ms. Kimbrough. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Unanimous. Moving on to H, authorization of superintendent to pay debt service. So the board has a designated person to attend, or, no, that's the wrong, that's an update. It is policy of the board, authorize superintendent to pay school system debt service as soon as possible following the first day of each month, so. I would entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded.
Second.
Discussion? None? All those in favor? Unanimous. And last but not least, under this, we have to adopt the most recent version of Robert's Rules of Order with the addition that the chairman may vote because the state code supersedes Robert's Rules. So, entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt the most recent version of Robert's Rules of Order with the exception that the chair gets to vote due to the law, Virginia law allowing it.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Motion carries. Okay. So next we need to approve the consent agenda. So,
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to information item. Elementary school construction update, Alex Amos. Mr. Amos and Moses Architect.
Good evening, Happy New Year, everybody. Had a wonderful holiday. I know the holiday down here was busy with folks moving into the new addition, so it's a super exciting time to be down here in terms of the school. So just a quick update for what's been happening the last couple of months and some things that will be happening going forward. So yeah, typical agenda we've done down here for you all pretty much quarterly during the course of construction, just some project updates, some next steps, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. So, December and first part of January are awfully busy down here. Continuing our coordination meetings twice a month with English, with our construction partners with English, and y'all's construction partners with English as well. Installation continuing, fence line being adjusted now that the addition is now open. So, so the construction fence, a secure part of the site's being coordinated with you all and with English. There's been some casework. I think folks have been aware of some casework delivery struggles. The library casework is now scheduled to be delivered the first week in February, but other casework has been installed in the addition. Site work still kind of wrapping up in that area as with bollards and some hardscaping continuing as well. I think we still have metal panels to be delivered on the addition as well. Demolition started in areas A and C. As well as a little bit of steel that's happening in there as well. Cleaning and prep that happened over the holidays, and I know the moving happened shortly after New Year's as well. So preparation works continuing in phase 3. We're now entering the part of the project where we'll be doing chunks of the building in kind of 4-month intervals. So there'll be a lot of discussion and coordinating with you all and folks inside the school on when those things happen. Roof work is continuing to just really with gutters and soffits. And then punch list was really completed in Building E, which is the addition before the holidays. So it's pretty well wrapped up. There's still some touch-up work to do, those sorts of things, but still ongoing. Kind of some of the things looking ahead to any interior work that needs to happen in the addition will be happening after hours. So that's any of that touch-up work, the installation of casework that'll be happening after hours as well. I know we've had some struggles. I think English has been communicating well to everybody in terms of some lead items with metal panels, but they're supposed to be delivered next week, which is good news. Wall graphics, I know we've been working with you all in terms of identifying locations within the addition to really celebrate the history of the school and the community. And those wall graphics will be delivered 1 week. I think we're trying to finalize the order and approval. I think we're looking at that happening over the course of this month. I think we've talked, I think Dr. Jones, maybe a more extensive walkthrough in February, I think had been loosely discussed, so we'll continue to work with you all and see if that's something that we want to do and maybe get English here as well and get Mr. Amos here to help facilitate that walkthrough and talk a little bit about what's been done and what will be going on in construction going forward. And I know we're excited. I think there's plans to replace furniture within the school. I think we're working to coordinate a furniture fair, so that's when students and teachers and staff will be able to go inside the athletic facility down the road and really test drive furniture, so we can see what kind of tables and chairs and other kind of furniture items are going to be used, and Our team will be here over the course of the day, and we'll just really start taking in the survey information to land on the beginnings of a furniture package. So that's super exciting, and that's going to be really kind of game changing inside the school in terms of providing new furniture that will provide teachers and specialists a lot more flexibility in the delivery of instruction. Just a few photos. These are back in December before the addition was wrapping up. It's nice to drive in tonight and see the lights on inside and the building not being used. That's really, really nice as well. So super excited to see that this part of the project is nearing completion. Next steps, again, we can continue discussions about a more kind of formal walkthrough before the school board meeting in February. We're still on schedule, still looking at wrapping up about 13 months from now, the 1st of March in 2027. I think English has been starting to look at maybe some adjustments in phasing a little bit that might help out in terms of where administration might go, just to kind of ease some of the burden on the school. And we're working through that with the project team as well. So yeah, everything's over this big milestone over the holidays and getting all in school. And that was a big push. And again, we'll be looking at kind of moving around the building a little more structured over the next few months or so. So I'd be glad to answer any questions anybody might have.
Question?
We went today
To the new part.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
It was great, it was beautiful.
Awesome.
First time I saw it, I almost cried.
That's
It's just so
good.
open and light and, telling you to come on.
Yep.
Yeah, just so you get ready for it. And teachers that we talked to today, and so I've never had that much storage space at school, and it's all the same. I'd have to go find somebody's in the hallway that use it, but
Right.
they are really excited about it.
That's great. That's great to hear. I know that was a big focus when we were working with you all during the design workshops and developing the design about really making the front door an important place for people to know where to come into, and full of natural light and full of volume, and really make it a really appealing place for people to come. So that's good to hear.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Well, great. Again, we're always here available. If any questions come up, certainly let us know, and we'll look forward to bringing you all an update soon. Thank you
so
all
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving into action items, approval of additional appropriations, Ms. Jones.
Good evening, Board Chair, Board members, and Dr. Jones. This evening, I stand before you seeking approval of additional appropriations in the total amount of $272,880.45. This amount includes additional monies to Carl Perkins, a restraint and seclusion regional training Region 8 grant, and a comprehensive literacy state development grant for the middle and the elementary school.
Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve those appropriations of $272,880.45.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you all.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Moving on to approval of policy BBD, electric participation in school board meetings. This was the one that we have to approve every year in January per VSBA invitation to the policy. So this would allow, if we choose, members to participate remotely, but we'd have to vote in the beginning to approve of them to do that. So, is there a motion?
I move that we approve BDD and BDL, which allows school board members to participate remotely.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Unanimous. Right. Technology surplus recycling, Mr. Crabtree.
List.
Good evening, Board Chair, school board members, Dr. Jones. I would like to present to the board the technology surplus list. This list is large due to the cleanup and organizational efforts associated with the elementary school construction project. And also, we've cleaned up one of the CTE old business rooms, which is now the cosmetology room. So, at this time, I would ask the board to consider making a motion to approve the surplus list as presented.
Will entertain a motion.
I so move.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And high school weight room surplus recycling, Mr. Eubank, but I don't see somebody speaking in his place.
You want to bring all the-
I can't.
Yeah, Ms. Tibbs, if that's okay.
Works.
Sure, absolutely. Good evening. So we are looking at our high school weight room. There is some equipment that we still need to look at for whether it is safety concerns or other things that have just had some wear and tear and could be replaced. There are some community members, specifically at the detention center, where they are looking at donating some of their equipment and that kind of thing. So we are still kind of going through the process of seeing exactly what all they would like to send us or would like to donate to us, and what do we have room to accommodate, because we do not have the same size space that their area was, and so we would not be able to take everything. So we are still working through all of that, and we have not set up a date or coordinated a time with them to be able to go and visit all of what they have.
So Mr. Eubank had recommended that we, on the surplus for recycling, done the preacher curl, incline sit up and calf raise, and then the dumbbells would be part of that.
I move that we surplus those things that have been outlined by Mr. Eubank.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Moving into information items. Annual policy, Dr. Jones?
Yes, so each year, we need to, an up-to-date, we have to make this announcement, so, an up-to-date copy of the school board, Prince Edward County Public Schools School Board Policy Manual is available in the school board office, the elementary school, middle school, high school, transportation, and at the Farmville Prince Edward, library. The policy manual is also available at the Prince Edward County Public Schools website, which can be found at www.PECPS.Virginia.US under menu School Board online policy manual.
Dang.
It's a mouthful.
It isn't
And then if anyone ever wants to know where the policy manual is and they can't locate it, just call us and we will take you there.
It's just information, so not requiring any vote.
No.
Moving into B, academic discussion, Ms. Garrett.
So, Ms. Garrett is going to give you all a presentation on where Prince Edward County Public Schools stands with data and different things. So you saw in your packet, it's quite a presentation. She will not go through it page by page, but give you the highlights of Prince Edward County Public Schools.
All right, good evening, members of the school board, chairperson, Mr. Townsend, and Dr. Jones. I'm gonna try and go through this as fast as I can, but still cover it, because it's a lot of information. So if there's anything you're not sure of after, we can definitely try to explain that to you. What we're gonna talk about first is some things that you already know, the bifurcation about the accountability and the accreditation system, where we are falling in that, the accountability, and we're gonna talk about it for all the three schools, and then it's just gonna be a quick summary. So the bifurcation, this is the accountability and accreditation. Mr. Foster went over this with you all quite a bit when it first came out, so I feel that this board is pretty comfortable with this accountability and accreditation and where it's split. Ms. Simpson, this might be new for you. So this is where we split the information. So we look at accountability with student learning progress and outcomes on one side, but then we look at accreditation with safe and healthy learning environment on the other side. And that's where we talk about whether a school is accredited or not. We're gonna talk about that briefly. We're gonna spend a lot more time talking about the accountability and the student outcomes. And you all have seen this chart before. Accreditation, the way accreditation works, and that's the teal part of the chart, is there are elements in the standards of quality and the standards of accreditation that schools are going to be asked several questions and may be asked to present data and information on if we are meeting those. And that's how they determine accreditation. There are 3 areas of accreditation. You're either fully accredited, conditionally accredited, or denied. And these are the categories in which the school presents information or answers several questions about whether we meet the categories, and we have the data to support that. So you can see what those are. A lot of it is things we talk about in here. For us, we successfully met all of those requirements, so we are fully accredited at all 3 schools. And that is an excellent thing for us to have here. So then we move into accountability, and this is going to talk about student performance, student growth, and it's going to talk about the new framework model that you all were introduced to. That's going to cover this chart. We're going to talk about elementary and middle, and then we're going to talk about the high school. And some of this is going to get a little confusing, so you may see some graphs, but at the end you're going to see the totals, and the totals are what you really need to know. But I'm going to kind of show you briefly how it is broken down so that you can see where the totals are. But elementary and middle, it's based on growth, readiness, and mastery. And the high school, and I feel like you guys have a good understanding of the high school because Mr. Foster has presented it several times to you all for graduation, readiness, and mastery. And then once they determine with that, we go into the performance categories where a school can be distinguished, on track, off track, or needs intensive support. And then based on your performance category, they determine the federal identification where they're going to provide support for us. And those federal identification categories are no identification, student would need additional support or targeted support, or a comprehensive school. And I'll refer to those as a CSI school, which would be a comprehensive support school, or a TSI school, means they just need targeted support. So we're first just going to talk about whether they're on track, off track, distinguished, or they need support. We'll talk about the identification at the end, and then these are just the breakdowns of the framework. Before we go into that, and I know this is tiny, but you really just need to see the little people rather than the numbers. Because when we start talking about the scores, you're going to probably be asking yourself, where did 90 come from? How are we saying that we are performing with 85% in reading? And the reason is the state no longer gives a straight score for a 400. And this was presented when we first did it, but each little person actually counts something for us. So even if they don't take a test, that doesn't count anything. We don't want that, we get no points for that. But if they score even below basic, we get 0.25. If they score basic or they didn't meet, which means they are below the 400, but they're not far below, they could be like a 375, we get a 0.75 for that student. If they score a 400, we get a full point, and if they score above a 400, which would be up to 600, we would get a 125. So that's why you're going to see scores that seem quite different than what we have seen in the past, and it's because students are given points for where they are. So these are the performance categories. So we are
0 is counted.
0, huh?
If that would be a student that's actually counted 0, they would count in a 0.
They would count as a 0, right?
And it's counted.
Right.
I just wanted to be clear on that.
But we don't get points for them.
Okay.
So like for each one of them, we're going to get a 0.25 added to get to this 90 points, or we'll get 1 point to get to this 90 point. If the child didn't take
Get a
and they have a 0, it wouldn't give us points to get us to that 90. So that's where we wouldn't get points.
But the child is counted, that's the
Correct.
situation. So we have to make
Correct.
sure that that child is present.
Correct,
And
they're counted
takes the
as a
test.
test taker.
Bottom line is they have to take the test. We have to make sure
Yes.
that they take the test.
Yes, because there's another thing that is where we're trying to get 100% for student participation on a test. So absolutely, we need that student to take the test, yes. So if they score 90 points or above, once we add all of this together, the school is considered distinguished. If it's 80 to 89, they're on track. 65 to 79 off track, or below 65, they need intensive support. This bottom bar in the blue, this is where this will impact one of our schools, and you'll see this in a little while. A school that's federally identified as targeted or additionally targeted support and improvement will be lowered a category. So if a school scores on track, let's say they have, or let's say they're off track, 79 points, but they end up being a targeted school, the state is gonna move them a whole nother category.
And what gets you targeted? Tell me again.
We're gonna,
Talk about that in a second.
yes,
Okay.
it varies, but there's a slide that explains
Okay.
that. So this is just a quick snapshot of our data so that you can see where we are. And so this is where I said these are the totals that you're really gonna wanna know. I'm gonna show you how we got to the totals. Prince Edward Elementary School, they got 47 points, 47.2 out of a possible 55 for mastery. So that's where they're talking about where they performed on reading and math, and each little point was counted up to the 47.42. Growth was 23.88 out of 35 possible points. Readiness, 7.95 out of 10. We don't count graduation for them. And they ended up with a 79.3.
May I say something? For the growth on the elementary, I think it's important to point out is, for a student to be eligible for growth, they will have to have taken 2 SOL tests. As you know, Prince Edward County Elementary School is pre-K through 4. So the only growth that Ms. Vance in the elementary school can get is from a student that took a 3rd grade test to their 4th grade. There's a lot of elementary schools that are pre-K through 5 where there's 2 years of growth. But at the elementary school, the only growth that is allowable is that they took the test in 3rd grade and then they test in 4th grade. So that's why our growth may not look as much as some other elementary schools.
So our performance category ends up being needs intensive support, and I'm gonna try and explain that. The elementary school is probably one of our most difficult to explain where we ended up here, but I'll do my best. They are federally identified as a targeted support school, but they are fully accredited. Prince Edward Middle got a 46.67 out of 60, 15.21 out of 25 for growth, 12.94 out of 15 for readiness. And for readiness with Prince Edward Middle School, you're gonna see this in a little while, our advanced course placement helps in that category. There was 74.8, which puts them at off track. They are a CSI school, which we knew they would still be a CSI school because that's a multi-year category and you have to show growth over several years. We were just put in that category last year. So we understood we would still be in that category this year, and they're fully accredited. Prince Edward High School, 42.47 out of 44.45. They don't have growth, because theirs is different. 34.82 for the readiness out of 38, and 14.76 out of 16.67 for the graduation rate. So they ended up with a framework score of 92.1, which is distinguished. They don't have any identification and they are fully accredited. Those are the indicators we want for all of our schools. So I'm gonna try and break this down for you by each school. I will say, some of the charts here are gonna have a lot more information than you need. I wanted you to see what would be a public document, so this is what, if anyone researches our school and pulls it up, this is what they're gonna see. So I wanted to explain to you what it looks like if anyone ever asks you what this is, you'll know what this is. So this is what they would pull from the school quality report on VDOE. So for elementary school, this is what VDOE posts for the elementary school mastery breakdown. And what this does is it shows you reading and math performance, and it shows you the percentage of each category. So how many students fell into past advance? So that's how many students did we get that point, the extra, what was it, point?
2.5.
1.25, yeah.
Yes, and then the past proficient was 53.28, and then failed 24, and then 13, and the score is, score of 0, we got a 0.72% in that category. So this kind of shows you where the students fell. We ended up with 84.48% in reading performance, so that's 23 out of the 27 points for reading, 87.94 for math, so 24 out of the 27 points for math. So that's how the mastery was determined. The growth was determined, and like Dr. Jones said, there's only a small snapshot of students that we're being able to pull from for here. So you have the percentages there of where the kids fell, how many exceeded, how many met, how many were below expected growth, and how many did not meet the growth. So we were 75.1% for the reading growth and 70.74 for the math growth, giving us 11.49 out of the 17.5 for reading and 12.38 out of the 17.5 for math. Yes, ma'am.
So for the growth, the child that takes the SOL for the first time in the 3rd grade and they score a score, say 350. Then the state then says in the 4th grade, they get a predicted score,
So,
right?
yes.
So let's say that child made a 350 and if they show growth this year, we expect them to make a 375. Or even maybe a 400, whatever.
Right.
They then go take the test in the 4th grade and they don't meet the targeted, what was predicted score.
They don't meet the
They then
predicted
fall
score.
below that line. Is that correct?
Correct. And they used VVOS this year, and we've talked about,
Right.
you know, because
Yes,
you worked
yes,
with VVOS
yes.
before. They used that this year, so that's what they were looking for, the predicted score, the expected score,
And that's
And
how
they
they made
compare-
the determination.
and they compared those.
So by that same token, a child who who scored in the 99th percentile in the
Yep.
3rd grade,
Yes.
and then in the 4th grade, scored in the 99th percentile again, but didn't score 99.1 or
You're
2,
exactly right.
they did not meet growth.
Correct. So this
To
can,
make sure that's understood.
so it's not super clear. So it
Yes.
doesn't mean that if you're saying the student didn't make growth, it doesn't mean that that isn't a student that might not have had a 598
Right.
on the
That's
SOL.
right.
And
Right.
just to clarify that, as Ms. Garrett said, is that the state this year used VBOS. The state did not renew the contract for VBOS or provide the funding. So the way that growth is measured will change again this spring. So we had 1 year of this. As we get used to this, we're
It's
using
not gonna be-
VBOS. Now it's going to be something different.
And we're not sure what that will be.
We're not real sure what that's going to
That's
be yet.
soon to be determined. Alright, so, and then the last part for the elementary school is the readiness, and that's chronic absenteeism, and again, I feel like you all can speak to this as well as I could speak to chronic absenteeism. So missed it above 10% will be 20%, 20.4% of the students, so we were below 10% with 79.54%. So they got a 7 point, because this is based on 10%, so it's a 7.95 points is what they got for chronic absenteeism. So you can kind of see where that falls. So overall, again, this is kind of hard to read, but this is one of the state reports that you get. Overall, this kind of tells you where we fell, their overall framework score, the reading performance, the math performance, the reading growth, the math growth, and the chronic absenteeism. So that top bar is where they got their points for to get to the 79.2. Now, where we were determined a TSI school. This is where it gets really interesting. In a minute, I'm gonna break it down to how they do it for you, but I just want you to look at students with disabilities for a minute, because that's the category where we were identified. For schools with an identified TSI or ATSI, their performance category was lowered. Therefore, although the elementary school received 79.2, which puts them off track, their student with disability performance was below the percentage of off-track elementary schools, earning them a federal identification of a targeted support school. So I'm going to explain that a little better, hopefully, on the next page, because that's confusing. So if you look at this column over here, targeted support and improvement identification is determined by comparing subgroup performances to the state's lowest performing threshold. So what the state does is they look at the lowest performing 5% of the Title I schools. They're looking at those schools that are designated for CSI. So they take all the CSI schools, they look at how they performed, and they get a threshold score. And then once they have that threshold score, they determine what was the lowest performing 5% of that. They come up with this number. And then they're going to judge every other elementary school in the state based on that number. Which, if you don't make that number for overall accountability, that's gonna put you in a whole nother category. But if you don't make it in any area at all, so any of your subgroups don't make it, that's when you get identified as targeted support and improvement.
And they lower your designation.
And they lower your
By one.
designation
By
by
one.
one. So what they're telling us is overall the elementary school was performing well, but they have one area that needs us to spend specific attention on. And it needs targeted support for that one area, and that one area is students with disabilities. So that's what the state is telling us. So where we fell, so the threshold was 71.3 for reading, 74.51 for math. Elementary school fell at 66.3 for reading and 64.89 for math. So that kind of tells us where we need to go and how far they were from the threshold for that group. So as a result, that means they're identified as a targeted support and improvement school. That's only a year identification. It's not the same as CSI. So we bring that up, we come out. That's the goal. So this just again gives you the mastery and the growth and the readiness and the points for the elementary school.
And the students with disabilities is also the population with the highest chronic absentee rate as well.
Yes.
With
Yes.
almost 33%
Yes, they were.
of those. With-
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
So I think that we definitely know where our area of need is for the elementary school, so it's very clear. And I think the elementary school is aware of that already coming into this and already has some things in place moving forward to work on that. Middle school data, and again, it's gonna look the exact same, so you know how the charts will read. So this is reading performance and math performance, where they fell on 84 and an 87, and kind of tells you where they fell on the ranges of the groups. And then we have, middle school has science and English language learners. So in order for a student group to be counted, you have to have 15 students in that group. It used to be 30. Now it's 15. So for the elementary school, they did not have 15 students that were identified L, so that score does not count for them. But for the middle school, we did have that number, so we do count our L students, and they're counting their WEDA's access test is what we use to determine growth for the L students. So this was an area that we didn't achieve the growth we would have liked to, and so we have 50% there, and an 88.26 for the science, which I'm gonna talk about science in a little while at the end, because that's a good score for science. Reading growth for middle school was, this is growth, that was achievement. This is the growth, it's a 77.95 out of 12 and a 7.25 out of 12.5. So their reading and math were pretty close together here where they fell, but you can see where the students were meeting the growth and exceeding, and then the ones who were below. And then here we are again with the readiness. This is where you see the advanced coursework come into play. So we had 95% of our students in our advanced courses pass, and only 4% not, so that gave us a 95% in this area. So they got a 4.78 out of 5. And then for chronic absenteeism, they had they had only 18 that missed 10%, 18%. So there was an 81.55 for there, so they got an 8.15 for the chronic absenteeism. And so all that, again, same way this chart is read, all that adds up to the 74.8. Now, for this school, it has an identification of a comprehensive school improvement, and a CSI school means the entire school is going to get support from the state. So we had a support plan last year, so when they're looking at a CSI school, they're not looking at the categories as much as they're looking at the overall school performance.
That statement down there is elementary, it's not the middle though, is it?
Oh, so that, I apologize, that needs to be taken off. Therefore, the elementary did receive, so that should not be there. This is just stating that they're a CSI school.
It's the elementary, yeah.
Yeah, so that went with the elementary slide. So the middle school is off track and a comprehensive support and improvement school. So that's where they fall. And this just explains the comprehensive support school for you a little better so that you can see, but pretty much it just states that they need multiple years for growth. So we need, at the point when I made this, it said we needed 2 consecutive years of improvement. You know, that could change, but right now that's what they had said. So this is where the middle school fell. So they will again do another support plan, like they did last year, and you all will see that plan, so that they'll know what they're gonna do moving forward. Any questions about the middle school? Okay, I know this is a lot of data. We're gonna move into the high school. So the high school's reading performance, and again, high school is done based on cohorts. So high school looks at a student by the time they graduated. What was this group of students, so we're only looking at the graduating class, and did this group of students, were they successful in passing a reading SOL? Were they successful in passing a math SOL? So it's not year by year data, it's this specific cohort of students. So for this, we're only looking at, I don't know the number, but we're saying like maybe 144 kids. So that's very different than when you're looking at what we saw for elementary and middle. So you have 16.07 out of 16.7 for reading, 15.79 out of 16.7 for math. So 96% and a 94%. And then you're looking at the science, which was a 95.37, so 10 out of 5.9 for out of 11.1 points. So overall, you know, the students performed well. So they need to pass these SOLs to graduate. So when you're looking at the cohort, the high school works well at trying to get the students where they need to be to graduate. And then this is our 4-year graduation indicator. So that was an 88.61. So that means students graduate within their cohort year. That means they graduate within 4 years. That's what that's saying. And so 88% of the students graduated within the 4 years that's intended for them to graduate. And then this is where we're talking about the 3E readiness. This talks about enrollment, employment, enlistment. So this is where we talk about post-secondary credits through DE or accelerated courses. And this is where we talk about the career and technical completion of a sequential course. And so that's when they have taken one course and then they make sure they take the completer with it so they have an actual course sequence. So this is where we put those in. For enlistment, that really is just where students perform on the ASVAB assessment. So this kind of tells you where we fall in the 3E framework. So we were 93.69 for the 3E readiness, and then that actually gave us 26.02 out of 27.8. That's where we scored really well in that area. So that definitely helped the high school. And then when you look at the high school overall, you can see where their categories added up to the 92. They're distinguished and no federal identification. And so that's the high schools overall. So they got 42 out of 44, 14 out of 16, 34 out of 38. So 92 out of a possible 100 points. And then this is really where we fall, just as a quick snapshot so that you know where each school is. The performance category and the federal identification. This slide I put in here just to kind of explain, because some people have said, well, where is this based on where we performed last year? It is almost impossible to compare that set of data to this set. We can't even say apples to apples. I would say apples to a steak. It's not even in the same range. So when you look at it, it incorporates multiple measures, including achievement, growth, and progress of all students and subgroups. So they may show strong SOL performance, receiving different designations where we might not have last year. So prior SOL years focused primarily on a 400 pass rate. We knew 400 is what we needed. That was our goal. This recognizes student growth, looking at those who even score below a 400. So I wanted to give you an example that maybe made sense. For the middle school, science was identified as an area of need last year. So that was part of their comprehensive school support plan. They had a 51% pass rate, and the accountability results this year show clear improvement. This year, they earned a science indicator score of 8.82 out of 10 points, which reflects more than just test pass rates. The new framework gave credit for student growth towards proficiency. So, as a matter of fact, the middle school science scores were ranked in the top 5 of Region 8. So that shows a clear difference in how they looked at the SOLs last year, and they're looking at it this year, giving points for students who are just right below. So this is pretty much all of our schools are accredited. Prince Edward High School received a distinguished rating, and Prince Edward Elementary School is needs intensive support, identified as a TSI school based on students with disabilities. And Prince Edward Middle School is off track, identified as a CSI school. And that's, so you all are all clear on the, it's a lot.
Actually, you did a really great job explaining it, thank you.
Any questions that I may or may not be able to answer?
So they won't use the same thing next year?
So we will use, as I can never say for certain, but right now it looks like we will be using this accountability framework. Growth will be determined different. They haven't decided how growth will be determined.
When
But
do
at
we have
this
any idea
point,
when that's going to happen? Since it's January and testing starts in
sometime
4 months.
they presented something to the board to be voted on. It just hasn't been voted on yet. So that's something, we should know growth soon.
Okay.
So they have presented options, they just haven't determined which one.
I do have a question. About the growth. Now, are we looking at trying to do something different maybe with the elementary school and the growth situation maybe?
Or
Right now it's the 5th grade, that is our situation where they don't get that third test in there. Is there any way that is there anything we can do to change that?
no, well, the way the growth is, the only way is, because the student to be counted for growth as it is now has to have taken 2 SOL tests. So the elementary school only has 3rd grade.
Right.
Yes. And our elementary school as it is now only goes to 4th grade.
Right. So, and that, we're not looking at bringing the 5th grade back.
Wish we had.
I guess that would be the.
I don't think
That
so.
has not been discussed right now.
Yeah. But it's just, but
That would be a
this-
big discussion.
Yeah, that would be a huge discussion.
Yeah.
Construction,
Yeah.
education.
Yes. We just have to make sure we have.
I think it probably seems like, well, since growth is an issue, and that is part of our dilemma, with growth. We are gonna focus on the students with disability. And we are gonna make sure that the students with disability at least take the test. And that they show up on the day for the test, somehow.
Yes.
But otherwise, no.
Okay.
Regarding to the MOU, regardless of how they assess it next year, this is at least one for all three schools, and then two more, and then in theory, we're out, right? Isn't that
right?
in theory how, if I understand this correctly?
So we're not sure
Okay.
at this point.
We've been asking the status of the MOU for Prince Edward County Public Schools with the Department of Education, and we have not gotten a clear answer on that yet. But we are asking.
Yeah, I made 2 calls myself yesterday. So we're still waiting that answer, so we have not gotten that answer yet.
Right. So, no matter, and my goal, my hope is that we do exit the MOU, of course, absolutely. But we still are aware of the work that we need to do
Yes,
to continue on. MOU or not, we know what we need to do. And on that presentation, I was just asked by a community member yesterday. I get a lot of feedback. But one of the questions that was asked to me, and I walked away thinking that's a very good question for a community member to ask me, is they said Dr. Jones is the new superintendent for Prince Edward County Public Schools, even though that new part's getting ready to come off in a little while. You're 7 months in. What are you doing to improve instructional outcomes in Prince Edward County Public Schools? And why should I keep my child here? Good question. Great question. That's on the minds of probably some people. Do I pull out? Do I stay in? I asked the parent to keep your child here. Went over some things that we're doing with professional learning and getting into classrooms, looking at data and different things. And, but that is a question that is asked. People may not ask it to you as direct, but it is asked and it is on people's minds, and we are working to do that. So.
And I will say that, the next step in this is the plans, the support plans. And we've met with principals, they're already working on that, so next meeting you will see those plans. So you're gonna see where this goes next.
Good.
Thank you so much, Ms. Good. That was
Thank you
phenomenal.
very much.
And congratulations to all three schools for being fully accredited.
Yes, absolutely.
Even if the system changes, it's still
And I really come to say,
Sure.
I mean, just listening and seeing the data, you can tell that there's a lot of hard work going on. And our schools are better in so many different areas, and even a couple very close to being right there in the next category, and then knowing that it's evolving and you're having to work through the changes and everything. So really salute to our administration at each school and the teachers, and it's everybody that collectively at your campuses, from the bus drivers to the cooks, everyone, cafeteria, everyone, your administrative staff, and everyone that you have on board, your support people. I know my family, 2 members that go to school in Prince Edward, they're very happy and very content, and they're excited. And you can tell that in the attendance piece, that I know 2 years ago when I came on board, our attendance was not as improved as it is now. So you're doing a lot of really good things. So keep it up. It's noticed, because I hear a lot of compliments and a lot of address questions, and I appreciate Dr. Jones, that daily, weekly information that we get. We've got a better idea of what's going on at the campuses. For example, the data digs, got the meetings that are going forward, and also the different resources that the board is supporting, weekly, monthly. We see that in black and white, that we know that there's documentation that our schools and everyone's really collectively working hard to get better, and it's evident. So I just felt like saying thank you.
Moving to 17, school board matters of interest, starting with the calendar. Dr. Jones?
Yeah, so you'll see that next week, it's holiday, it was holiday season, tax season, it's budget season. So that season is there. We do have a budget work session next week on the 21st. It begins at 5:15 here in this conference room, okay? And that's where we'll take our first dive into the budget for the 26-27 budget, all right?
And that's for anyone, for all board members?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
That's everybody.
And then you'll see on the 27th is next, that's when there's a joint finance committee meeting with the board of supervisors, that is here. And then on February 4th, my goal is to present to you a draft superintendent's proposed budget for the 26-27 school year. So it's moved the timeline up a little bit, this year because in conjunction with the board of supervisors.
Sure.
So they can finalize their budget and so. But I just want to remind everyone when we're working on these budget numbers, this is based off a governor's budget that was released on December 17th, 25. Since then, we have a new governor that has come into office and a new General Assembly. But I will use those numbers to work to build the budget, but keep in mind it will be fluid and it will probably change. So it could be an interesting budget season. All right.
And this is a 2-year budget. This is the biennial.
This was Governor Youngkin's biennium budget.
This would be 2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it could change. I'm sure
It will change.
But I have no. All right.
And the superintendent's report.
Yes, so you've heard a lot of information tonight. I appreciate everything. This week, of course, it's their second week back in school from winter break, but it's also Principal Appreciation Week. So let's give them a round of applause. And in recognition of that, I worked with the culinary arts students and they made them their individualized cookies. So, Ms. Vance, here is your principal cookie. Ms. Tibbs and Ms. Clark Reed, if y'all come on up.
Now y'all know I'm gonna take a picture. I was telling you.
It says compassionate, caring, kind, dedicated, reliable, loyal, and warm. So we have a culinary arts student that actually makes these cookies.
I know, they look cute.
There you go. You can eat it. I won't tell. Mr. Lee cannot be here. He has jury duty, so he can. We could.
School store, sell the cookies.
Legislator Day, they make cookies, they taste really good too, they not only look really good, but they taste good too.
So, I don't know if they'd ever gotten a personalized cookie before, but so, the culinary arts never could have told me that they were making personalized cookies, because I think it's a neat thing. Just want to couple more things on the report that budget. I talked about it budget season. As we look in going to the budget season, our priorities of recruitment intention of high quality staff, making sure we have affordable health insurance for our staff. Facilities, the maintenance and the readiness, is there any capital improvement we need to do? We know we're in the process of building and renovating the elementary school part of it, but are there other capital improvement projects that we need to do along the way? Transportation, just making sure that we have a reliable fleet. We have aging vans and cars that transport students that are aging. And that may be something we need to look at updating along with a couple of buses. Overall staffing positions aligned to what we need, and then also looking at the mental health supports that we need for our students. So we were able to, through the work of Ms. McClure and some coordination with Fulcrum, we were able to keep 2 Fulcrum counselors for the remainder of the school year. There were a combination of grant funds that we were able to reallocate within that grant and some of our own federal funds to make that work.
Are they
Thank you.
going to all 3 schools, or are they primarily gonna be at just 2 schools, do you know?
That's the logistics I don't know.
Okay.
I was excited that we were able to keep two.
Sure,
So,
I understand.
yes, ma'am.
I think you have, well, and then I think Miss Clark Reed and I are sharing one.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This week we hosted a career technical education meet and greet that Mr. Lee and Mr. Foster helped arrange with the support of Ms. Tibbs. That is where students that are going out into work-based learning experiences or internships actually got to meet with the employers that they're going to work with. So they got to sit down and do some talk, and we did that in the high school cafeteria. So it was a meet and greet. And we went over some work-based learning expectations and just reminded them that when they step out of here, they're not only representing themselves, they're representing their families, and they're representing Prince Edward County Public Schools. So 3 big things that mean in high school is a great time, absolutely. However, it is your next step into your next steps. So I think it went well. And the people that were here, the partners that were here seemed to enjoy it. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Foster?
Yeah.
So, all right, and this week we hope that Ms. Vance and her team hosted a open house for families that have their students in the new part of the school, or if their classroom was relocated. So I appreciate Ms. Vance and her team for doing that, because as a parent, you always want to know where your kid is located, and if they're changing, you want to see the classroom. It just makes you feel better. That's no matter what age they are, I think. And I want to thank you to Mr. Wilkerson and his team, Mr. Good, Ms. Garrett, the elementary school staff, because during winter break, well, we did a lot of moving. There was a lot of packing that happened, and there was a lot of moving. I logged my steps one day, it was 30,000. We did some moving. And a shout out to Jerry Townsend with the Piedmont Regional Jail. Since there were no students here, he allowed us to have a work crew to come here and help move things. So that was a big, the first day we moved, we had 16 people moving. So, and it was quite a process. So, and then of course we're in the spring, full swing for the spring semester. We have many events that are forthcoming, as you saw in your calendar. Spring is busy.
Yes.
Lots of things going on. And I've already requested no snow. And I appreciate last night Ms. Carson and I attended the Board of Supervisors meeting last night, because there was a public hearing on a resolution for the $25 million literary loan, and it was passed. So we sat through a meeting, and it was good, and I appreciate their support in helping us along with your support. And also before that, we attended the spelling bee, and that hosted at Prince Edward County Middle School, and our 5th grade student won. He's a 2-6. He won in 5th grade and he won in 6th grade. He's quite a speller. Some of the words he got, I was like, I'm glad I'm not up there, because. But I appreciate the support in that, and I said it a few minutes ago. But each and every day at Prince Edward County Public Schools, no matter our role, whether it's transportation, whether it's custodial, whether it's school nutrition, whether it's administrative assistant, principal, superintendent, I hold myself to this standard as well. We try to get better each day. So, but that's it. And I can't say enough about the team that I work with. And I said the newness is wearing off. I've been here 7 months. I'm getting more comfortable. Maybe the Chip that I was in July might not be the Chip I am in January, with the expectations and different things, because things change as you get to know your surroundings. And but all in all, things are going well. We have partnered with Longwood Moore. I talked about the starting in late January into February. Ms. Vance and Ms. Clark Weed are as excited as I am that we'll have some Longwood students coming in on Fridays, because that is their teacher pipeline. We still have our mentoring program going on with Hampton Sydney, and then we're going to start with the micro internships with Longwood University for students that are interested through the business. So one will work on special education recruitment of teachers, and another will be on mental, like social work with student attendance with Ms. Amos. So we're always striving for the partnership, and we're just, at a high level view, we are working, because we know CTE is important, but it's really important for every student, but it's really important in Southside Virginia. And so we're working, hopefully next Friday, we'll meet, a tentative meeting with Centra to talk about our nursing program and how we can partner to keep that on the ground. So, lots going on. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What was the hardest word in the spelling bee?
You know what word I found the hardest, and I found myself, when they're spelling, you're spelling too, and I think every person is there too, is I thought I knew how to spell it, but was et cetera. I was questioning myself when the child said et cetera. I was like, and I would not have gotten that right, but when that child got that, I was like, bless you.
Wow.
That is.
I know the abbreviation for it.
I could do that. That's why I do that. But I know some of the words, I was like, but it's impressive.
Pistachio was rough.
Pistachio.
I thought lo mein was challenging because he had to say, he had to say all of it correctly.
What was the word?
Lo mein,
Oh, low man.
because they wanted them to say it correctly,
Low man.
There were a couple ones that.
And for a student to stand in front of people, parents and families, and do that takes.
It's brave.
It's brave.
It's brave.
It's
It is
brave.
very brave.
It is. And the hardest part I have with the spelling bee, I will say this, is that when they misspell something, they sit down with such disappointment. I know that's part of life to learn to close, but it is heartbreaking to watch someone sit there and then they gotta sit there and look at all these people. That is very heartbreaking. That's just the human side of you.
Yeah.
And you wanna go up to and say, I can't spell it either. But that's all my comments, Mr. Chair.
Excellent. Moving into board member comments. Anybody?
The mental health thing is still, I think, is important that we we put that, we consider putting that in our budget as we're moving forward. Maybe we consider getting a mental health specialist for the school itself. I think that's something that we should really look at because it's getting to be more of an issue. And when you look at Virginia doesn't do well, but this part of Virginia does even worse. So we need to make sure that I think is something that we need to put some emphasis on.
Yes.
And we have our health, the public health official. Her background is psychiatry, so maybe if we even work with her. But I think that mental health is something.
Yes, sir.
And I think if we could put that in let her look at that too, that would be. That is an issue.
Thank you.
The board comments? Yeah, please.
I just wanna take just 2 seconds to personally thank, Ms. Carson for all of the hard work that she did with us. When we look back at 2025 and where we were this time last year and the leadership that you provided for us, I just personally want to thank you and how much I enjoyed working with you. And I also want to shout out to all 3 of the principals and to Mr. Lee. Thank you so much for your hard work. Please pass on to your teachers how much we appreciate them. It shows. Everywhere I go in the community, I'm hearing positive things about all 3 schools. And so, just from me, thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Dr. Jones for taking us on the walk.
Oh, today, yes.
That's fun, that was nice, walking over and seeing the place. And, it's been a long time coming, and just to be able to see it.
It's gonna be
and know it's gonna
finished
come,
before
it's
we
gonna
know
be
it.
there, it's gonna be there. So, I wanna thank that, and I'm gonna piggyback on what Susan said. We didn't get along at first, but that's okay. Now, we're fine, but anytime I said, I need this, Susan, yeah, I got it, okay, thank you. But you know, and the students, we know how hard you're working.
Yes.
Since I was in with the middle school principal, it was the special needs schools department. You know, and that hasn't changed because the state's not gonna change the way they think of them, the way they look at them, okay? But thank you for all your hard work. Thank you so much. Thank you. And the school board, thank you too. I'll be back next month.
Other board comments?
I didn't get to say it earlier after Lucy spoke, but thank you, Lucy, just ditto to what Susan mentioned. Just reflecting back, I'm starting up my third year, beginning of my third year, and I've seen this team grow compared to the months before I came on the board to where we're at now. So that's each one deserves to be a pat on your back because I've seen us grow, and including me. Still trying to gather more and more because I'm not from Prince Edward County. I am now. I'm invested. I'm invested.
Yes.
So that's what I tell everyone. I say, well, why'd you get on the school board? I let them know. But thank you for your guidance, your leadership. Last year, like I said, from last January to where we're at now, you guided us to a superintendent search, and our leader and the board team, and that took a lot. It took a lot, for sure. And just being a fellow team member and being who you are, and the care factor that is observed, and the love that you have for the school system.
Okay, I guess I'll say something, but I'll be very brief. I just want to say how much I love Prince Edward County, and I do mean that with every fiber of my being. From being born in Southside Community Hospital, and yes, before the Centra, which a lot of us, sometimes forget and misspeak sometimes. Growing up here, Dad worked for years at Safeway, Mom worked for years at Baldwin's. Many fond memories of dinners at Shoney's and Golden Corral and Country Cooking. And if I've lost you, it's okay. It just means you weren't here yet, and that's all right. Because eventually you did make it here, and we're lucky to have you all here. Love Winn-Dixie and Roses too. This is the second time I've had the great fortune to be blessed to work with my immediate past predecessor, and so this is my thank you to you, Lucy, for all that you have done, your leadership, and tumultuous times and peaceful times and all the times in between. And also a shout out to Beulah Womack, your predecessor, because you were the two chairs I had the opportunity to work with, and y'all truly showed me what it meant to be chair, so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. To my fellow board members, I appreciate you all. I appreciate your support. This is certainly never something I saw myself doing, but here I am, and I hope to rise to that occasion and to meet all of your expectations and to properly represent this board in the county that I love so much. To my former teachers, many of which who are in this room, from 2nd grade to 12th grade, who would have thought this 2011 graduate, currently looking like a 2011 graduate, and who would be here, right? I'm not going to tell you my class rank, but just know it wasn't 1 or 2. But you all poured into me so much over the years, and have continued to pour into Prince Edward County over the years, and I am grateful for you, and we are better to have you all here. So I appreciate you all. To the community, here's the challenge. Continue to show up. Bring a friend next time, right? Bring 2 friends next time. Fill this room. Fill up our YouTube stream. We look forward to working with you. Not only are you welcome, but you are needed for us to move forward to be united in excellence. And lastly, to the kiddos of Prince Edward County, whether you are my high schoolers who call me Mr. T, or my numerous soccer children who call me Coach Kanan, or the 2 who call me Daddy, just know that everything we do here in this room is for you. We will strive for the best for you because you deserve it, and we will do everything in our power to make sure you have that. And in the words of our great superintendent, not be punished on your zip code. You deserve the best. We're going to fight for you. You deserve it, and we deserve it because we're here in Prince Edward County. So, in closing, there's only 3 types of people I think who could even come close to matching my love for the purple and gold. And those are members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Anybody who supports Louisiana State, LSU, and the Minnesota Vikings, right? But if you cut me right now, I assure you I will bleed purple and gold. So I am extremely honored and humbled to be here right now, and I look forward to serving alongside and with you. Thank you all so much. Moving on to voting on closed session items. Is there a motion on the floor?
I move that we approve the personnel agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? I abstain. Okay.
And then now we move to
Move
adjourn.
to the, yeah,
Move to adjourn.
Second.
abstain personally. Yes.
Adjourn. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor? Meeting is concluded.
Do it.